Today we are having Dr. Saurabh Nanda with us, who is MBBS, MD ISCCM, SR AIMS, and he has passed his ISCCM and IFCCM in first attempt. We are today going to get benefited with his experience in examination. The doctor who is going to take the interview is Dr. Prashant. I don't think we need his introduction, so let's start.
Hello everyone, I am Dr. Prashant Kumar. Today we are going to meet Dr. Saurabh, who has passed IFCCM examination, and this is a good opportunity for him to give advices to all those participants who are going to appear for this examination or any other similar examination in critical care. Meet Dr. Saurabh. Dr. Saurabh, can you start how your examination was conducted? What was your center of examination?
My center was Hindurao Hospital in Mumbai. My chief examiner was Dr. Khusrav, and over there the examination was conducted in Hindurao Hospital.
Okay.
Mumbai.
So this was a written and theoretical examination, or it was a practical examination? What were the components of examination and what were the distribution of scores?
It was mainly practical examination. We got short and long cases over there. We got live cases in the ICU. Mine was a polytrauma brain dead patient, and there was a foot wipe on that this brain dead patient. As well as they asked for various cranial nerves examination. Then there were short cases also. There was a case of heart failure also. So there was a full.
At this point, I would like to go into the detail. Like you told that there were 2 long cases and 2 short cases.
Yeah.
And some table vivas were also there.
Yes, there was 5 to 6 table vivas also there, and there were family counseling viva was also there.
Okay, so you please begin with the long case. What cases you got? What were the questions asked by the examiner? And could you explain the answers correctly? If you did any mistake, and if you did a mistake, how did you rectify it, or you could not rectify it? And then suggestions related to the aspirants of this examination and similar other critical care examinations. So, in long case, what was the first case?
He was riding a bike when he had an accident. So more or less the patient, when we examined, the patient was having GCS of E1, VT and 1. So my main viva was on how to do cranial nerves examination, how to diagnose, how to say whether the patient's brain is not working or not. So the whole viva depended on that. Plus there were questions relating to sodium disturbances also, which you find in patients, those whose brain are not working. So that was a whole set.
So did you find any tricky question, and what do you think? The examination was flowing in the same pattern as we generally encounter patients in ICU, or you found that the questions asked were typically based on some extraordinary situation which you think that is not usually encountered in your routine practices? So if you at this point you can explain every question, if you can recollect the questions, and you can explain what the examiner actually expected out of you.
The questions were basically they were related to daily routine practices. They concentrated mainly on that you have to know what are the things which you routinely do. You don't have to miss out the basic thing.
Okay.
So we diagnosed that patient of RTA, is brain dead. What are the things which you have to do to diagnose a patient, to examine a brain dead patient? What are various cranial nerves examination? What do you do in a polytrauma patient? How to resuscitate? What are the guidelines for fluid resuscitation? And then other cranial nerves. What were the cranial nerves? What are the sets of cranial nerves? Then if there is sodium disturbance, what are the sodium disturbances. Then my other case was a case of heart failure. So in that they asked the symptoms, signs, what are the drugs which could be given to treat.
This was the second case, heart failure patient. The patient was presented with heart failure and was on ventilator, or how sick that patient?
Patient was, at that time, patient recovered. Patient was kept on NIV, non-invasive ventilation. Patient recovered with NIV, diuretics, and various other drugs which are given to relieve the heart failure. So they asked me a lot of questions related to cardiovascular system, as well as heart failure drugs which will be used to manage the congestive heart failure.
So, did you find any questions which you recall and want to convey anything about that second case, heart failure patient? Any question actually which were asked by the examiners, and you want to explain that question with safeguards towards any answer you gave, or you were trapped by the examiners in some way and you could get out of it, or you actually got trapped and lost some points. So that because here we want to convey to the aspirants of IFCCM or similar other examinations, where the actual candidate who has passed the examination is giving you advices based on the actual questions and practical experience faced by the examination. So what were the questions which you were asked?
The management of heart failure, they asked me various questions, but mostly the questions which they were asking, I was able to answer them. So various questions which they were asking, they were basically related to diuretics, related to mixed continuous diuretics. Then what could be the eco findings? So I was able to tell each and everything, and various other special drugs which could be given in management of heart failure. And then inotropic agents which could be used, what are they, what could be used. Then hemodynamic monitoring, what hemodynamics you have to monitor. And my third case was this invasive fungal infection, especially in
This was a short case, invasive fungal infection.
Yeah, it was a short case. There was a case of invasive candidiasis.
Okay.
That was also a short case.
So what questions were asked in the third case, short case, invasive fungal infections?
In the invasive fungal infections, they asked me a lot of questions. What's the gold standard for the diagnosis of fungal infections? So I told them that's blood culture. Then they asked me other tests which could be used to diagnose fungal infections. That could be kleptomenin antigen, that could be 1,3-beta-D-glucan, or menin-antivenin antibody assay. And then they asked me various sorts of drugs. What are the drugs for candidiasis? What's the prevalence of candidiasis? Has it shifted from albicans to non-albicans? And the non-albicans species which are common, tropicalis, glabretta.
So the patient which were given to you, this was actual case.
It was
And
actual case.
what was the diagnosis based on the culture of fungal infection? What candida? It was candida?
It was candida infection, candida tropicalis.
Okay.
Tropicalis.
So did they ask you anything specific about candida tropicalis as well?
Yeah, they asked me specifically about candida tropicalis. The drug of choice, they asked me the IDSA guidelines for 2016, which have been revised for invasive fungal infections. What drugs to give in neutropenic patients, what drugs not to give in non-neutropenic patients. Suppose if it's neutropenic patients, you have to give a can of candidates, which are the first drug of choice. Then fluconazole could be given. For any neutropenic patients, you have to give, first of all, the drugs of choice is the can of candidates. But here, liposomal flutaricin B could be given in neutropenic patients. And then they asked me about this eye examination, when the eye examination has to be done, whether for invasive candidiasis eye examination has to be done, and when to do eye examination. And they also asked me blood culture, till blood culture when has to be repeated. It has to be repeated every day or every other day till the blood culture becomes negative, and antibiotics or antifungals have to be continued 40 days after the last negative blood culture. Then they asked me about various group of antifungals which are available, the polines, then azoles, then echinocandins, Then they asked me about antidepressant, which is very safe, especially in liver and renal failure
So,
patients.
what was the focus of the examiners? They wanted to get what the treatment approach is, or what the diagnostic approach is, or it was an overall assessment of the patient?
It was an overall assessment of
Overall.
the patient. They asked me about candidates score, prevention index, what's their significance, what's the relevance, when to start antifungal therapy, when to suspect antifungal infection. So each and every question was a very elaborate one. You have to get each and every minute details. You have to read the up-to-dates. You have to read the latest guidelines. You have to read each and everything about the patient. You have to know about each and everything about the case.
So here we see that the third case, which was a short case, Dr. Saurabh got a patient who was infected with fungal infection, and Candida tropicalis was diagnosed, and Dr. Saurabh says that the examiners were interested in complete details, and he was asked about every aspects of fungal infection, including diagnosis, treatment, and even other questions were asked. So let us ask Dr. Saurabh, what was the fourth case? What was the fourth case you got in the examination? That was a short case.
That was a very short case. See, generally the fourth case generally they don't give.
Okay.
But sir, the fourth case was also given to me, and that was a case of this myocardial ischemia, which I got. So in myocardial ischemia, they asked me about sets of cardiac enzymes and what's the sequence of drop I, drop T, and CPK, CPKNP, what's the line of management, what's the latest guidelines for the management of MI, when to do percutaneous intervention, when to thrombolyze, when to fibrinolyze the patient, what are the latest when the percutaneous coronary intervention has to be done, or anything they asked me about it.
So the patient was acute coronary syndrome?
And that was a patient of acute coronary syndrome.
So if you can recall any specific question which was asked, you can please tell
The latest guidelines, when to thrombolyze, when to do a percutaneous coronary intervention, the latest guidelines which have been updated. They were asking about that.
Okay.
So that door to needle time, door to balloon time, which was previously there, that has been revised.
Okay.
So you have to get the latest guidelines to study that. What's the significance of CPKMB? What's the significance of drop I, drop T? When to urgently go for PCI, percutaneous coronary intervention? Or when to thrombolyze? These all have been revised. You have to study the latest. And
So generally again we see that the approach of the examiners are similar to like if you are encountering a patient in ICU in practical situation, and every aspect of the patient suffering from acute coronary syndrome were touched, and he was asked specific questions towards thrombolysis and percutaneous interventions. Dr. Saurabh, what was the other sections of your examination?
yes, then there was there were table findings. Most important was family counseling.
Okay.
There was a patient who was there who was highly unsatisfied with the doctor because the doctor had done something previous to that patient. The patient was getting on well and patient suddenly deteriorated.
Okay.
So that family counseling part is an important part of that IFCCM examination. So we have to deal with that patient relatives, and we have to do a proper counseling of that patient relatives to satisfy them, to calm them, and to make things understand them. That these are the known complications and you have to see in a particular manner.
Yes, I think we must emphasize that family counseling has been a very important aspect of practical examinations in critical care medicine, either be it IDCCM, IFCCM or FMB. Dr. Saurabh is again of view that the examination in IFCCM was having a more emphasis on family counseling, and this patient he got had a deterioration after some recovery, and the family was to be counseled and to quench their queries and satisfy their situation. So was it a dummy family member or it was actual?
It was a dummy family.
Okay, so the examination was conducted over by some role player. And
Who was also a doctor.
He was a doctor. the doctor was
Being the
placed
patient.
into a role player, and the situation was that the patient was recovering, but he deteriorated.
Absolutely.
So how did they act? What they actually wanted? I think they must be trained not to get satisfied with
Absolutely.
your
They were
possible.
trained, that particular person was trained not to get satisfied
Okay.
with the line of modality, whatever doctor is trying to, but still we have to be very assertive. We have to make them understand that these are the non complications. These occur, and you have to obey whatever doctor is saying, and you have to just try to understand. You have to make them understand.
So were they acting in some violent way as well, or were they
Yes,
previous
yes,
way?
they were acting in some violent way also. They were acting in some previous way also.
Okay.
They were highly dissatisfied. So we have to be very patient in dealing with it.
So candidates, just be very particularly give mindful here that these models who play roles of a dissatisfied family member are actually they are trained not to get satisfied with the doctors. Here the examinee is acting as a doctor, and they were especially made in such a way, trained in such a way that not to get satisfied. So could you tackle that situation? Because in my experience also, I think that most of these are so arrogant, violent role models, like they will never get satisfied. So did you, at the end, they got satisfied or not?
The key to this family counseling is only and only patience.
Okay.
You have to be very patient when dealing with a family member, because that's a critical situation. A person's family member is dying after recovering, so that's a very critical situation. You have to be very patient. The key is to success is patience.
Okay.
Just have patience, be cool, try to make them understand in a proper manner.
So you gone through this portion of the examination as well smoothly, and tell about the other sections of the examination.
Then there was table minors, 4 or 5 table minors, that was on ventilators. First of all, coming to ventilator part, they asked me about latest modes of ventilation. What are the newer modes of ventilation? They asked me about high frequency oscillator ventilation. They asked me about ASV. They asked me about other modes. They asked me about BiPAP. So they asked me about others, various other modes which are available. And I had to tell various trials, various modes of ventilation. What are the ventilator graphs? What's the error in the ventilator graph?
So how do they prepare for this? What do you suggest to the candidates for preparing for ventilator section? Should go through any standard textbook or some? What was your source of reading material for ventilators?
I read various books for ventilators. A lot of books were read by me on ventilators. You have to get the latest updates. You have to get the latest modes which are available. You have to study for them thoroughly. You have to study the latest trials. For example, high frequencies there. The previous trials which were done as Oscar, Oscillate, you have to tell them whether it was beneficial or not. If it is not beneficial, you have to just tell them it's not of much use. So like that, you have to be very patient. You have to tell them all the modes, what are the advantages, what are the disadvantages, when the patient is ARDS, which mode would you like to go, what eye ratio you have to keep.
So there also you got a patient specific situation, or this was just a theoretical exchange of?
It was a theoretical exchange, and then there were dummy graphics. A lot of graphics were coming, and we were made to tell what are the errors, what's the abnormality in the graphs. We have to diagnose, we have to tell the examiner that this is the abnormality in the graph which is going on. There were notes, there were graphs.
I think they can prepare very well if they are more keen to learn. Ventilators are one of the most easily available equipments in ICUs, and just a few sources of information. We will provide you a complete folder on ventilators. I have a PDF of about 6 or 7 good textbooks of ventilators. So we will post it along with that. And I don't recommend any specific question or any specific situation, because I think ventilators can be used in a variety of ways, and the questions can also be framed accordingly in a variety of ways. And what was the other sections of your examination?
Other sections were, there were questions on drugs, There were questions on ECGs, there were questions on X-rays. So there were.
So on drugs, what were you asked? Any specific question you can recall?
Yes, they asked about various antibiotics. What are the latest guidelines which are there for various antibiotics? What are the advantages, disadvantages? They could ask various other drugs also. They could ask any inotropic agents. They could ask some specific drugs which are being used in the ICU.
Okay.
Then in the ECGs, they were asking what are the various abnormalities in the ECG. What type of rhythm was there? What could you do to correct that rhythm? What drugs could be used? So there were a lot of questions.
Okay, finally, Dr. Saurabh, can you tell us how did you overall took the burden of taking that examination and successfully passing? Because anxiety and tension and lots of uncomfortable situations may be encountered by examiners and examinees as well. So, and final words, can you advise some tips for those who are aspiring to pass this examination or other similar examinations?
See, you have to control your anxiety. You have to be very patient. You have to study thoroughly. I was lucky enough to have do IFCCM under the best teachers like Dr. Mehta, one of the best teachers of India, who has guided me very properly. And so the key is just have patience, read thoroughly, read each and everything in a thorough manner, get the latest updates, latest trials, and just read them thoroughly so that when you present yourself, and always adhere to the basics. Basics have to be remembered, because then when there is a final viva which is held in front of all the examiners, they put up some tricky question for which you have to adhere to the basics. If you have good basics, you'll be able to clear it.
So that's all for today, and this endeavor is to bring all past successful candidates to you and their experiences. Any of you who are watching this video and have passed your examination recently and want to share their experience in similar manner, because for video you must be present with us, but we can record your audio interviews. And recently we have interviewed Dr. Srinivas, who is working in Hyderabad. He passed ISCCM. You can check out their audio interview in the group. And this video interview will be posted and you can watch it. And please share your experiences. All those who have passed recently, they can share their experiences, and this will be very fruitful to everyone, and particularly the new generation who are coming into this field, and we must help them. Thank you very much.